Righty, hey guys, great to see everybody. It's always my favorite time of year coming here. It means it's football season, getting ready to get started again. It's been a great off season for our football program, coming off of last year, correcting some mistakes in the spring, and getting ready to get 25 more practices to continue instituting a new offensive scheme, a simplified defensive scheme, and continue great special teams effort. I've got two tremendous football players here today, as well as tremendous people, in Michael Pittman, our wide receiver, and Christian Director, our defensive end. And with that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
I know everyone's got a lot of football questions, but first I want to lead off with Austin Jackson, his whole situation. How has the team sort of come to his side, supporting him through doing bone marrow system?
Yeah, what a great story Austin Jackson is. His sister Autumn needed a bone marrow transplant, and to be a perfect match for her and have that opportunity to help her get healthy was just a blessing from God. That's what it is. And we're so glad that Austin got that opportunity over the summer to be able to do that. He's recovering from it right now. He's back with us at school, and I know he's looking forward to not only his recovery, but most importantly his sister's.
Is he going to be delayed at all in what he can do physically?
Right now he's training to get in the best football shape possible. We'll see where he is at the start of training camp. And we've been through this scenario before with guys that have been out of football for a little bit. You remember Dory had been out with track, and we kind of eased him along in his winning season to where he was a little bit slower pace. We'll see where Austin is come next week with it, and then go from there. But we won't put him fully in until we know he's 100%.
Clay, could you walk us through the additions of Chris Steele and Brooke McCoy from your perspective and how that all unfolded?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things, one of the things my dad has always taught me is how important relationships are, and to never burn bridges. Gentlemen make decisions. People make decisions in life, and you honor that decision and you support that decision, and know you're always there for them. We're very fortunate to have great relationships with Brew and Chris, and they have a special place in their heart for USC and what they can do for our team and what USC can do for them. And to have the opportunity to welcome both those men into our program and them will be major contributors for us in the future is a special thing. So probably the biggest thing I learned from it is how important relationships are and trust is.
What's the kind of timetable for each of them? What do you think?
Right now, Dan, we're going through the waiver process with the NCAA as far as whether they'll be eligible to play or not. It's not been finalized. I don't have a timetable for it because it's not it's an NCAA decision. Hopefully we'll know something before game one. I anticipate that. But we're in that process right now.
Is it the same process for both?
Yes, it's basically you supply a waiver to the NCAA, and they make a decision.
What was your immediate reaction regarding Brew's decision when he enters the portal and wants to come back? How surprised were you?
I've known Brew and his family for a long time. We live about 3 miles apart, to be honest with you. And what a fabulous gentleman, what a fabulous family. And everybody's story is different. And this transfer portal that we've had, that's the one thing that going into it, I realized that each story and each case is going to be different. And you're dealing with 18 to 21-year-olds that have situations in their life that they need to figure out for themselves and what's best for them. And that takes time. And the greatest gift we can give somebody is our time, and to help them through the process, to guide them, and to support them. And if you do that, that relationship stays intact. And Brew and I have had a great relationship for many years. And when he came back, it didn't surprise me because I know how special USC is to him. I know how special being in Los Angeles, California is for him. I welcome him back with open arms. I'm glad he's with us.
What kind of sales pitch did it require with Chris? Because he obviously had decommitted and had a few chances and kept choosing other places and then ultimately ends up back up here. What did you say to kind of get them on board with that?
Just the same thing that I felt and believed in, that we had a unique opportunity for him, and once that opportunity came to fruition, time we had an opening, that I truly believed it was a great opportunity for him, that not only on the field but off. Chris is a great student athlete, and I know how important education was to him. And I also thought the timing was great for him, especially when you look at the players that we were losing off of last year's team, the opportunity to compete in a hurry and see where he's at. I thought it would be unique to him and a great timing for him. And he saw the same thing. And he's another kid that has always had USC. He's been a special place in his heart. Obviously, his family's right from here. Mom and dad is right here. And he's always been ultra respectful to myself and the staff. And when he came back, it felt natural and comfortable to him that it was the right time and the right place for him.
Clay,
People ask you,
given how
how is
different
this team-
everyone's stories are when it comes to transferring, kind of like what you were saying, how difficult is it to create rules that kind of govern that entire process when it is so different?
The one thing going into it, I thought that I reminded myself that people they're 18 to 21 years old, and each story is different. You take Velus Jones, for instance. Velus has got a family situation at home with a grandfather in ICU, and how much he loves his family and how a hard time it was for his family. And he needed to figure things out for himself and see what was best for him. And at the end of the day, came to agree with that, USC and getting his degree and being here with his brothers and playing for his brothers was important to him and what he wanted. And he got the blessing of his family, and it was great. And then there's other situations that young men get a degree, and they want to garner a bigger role and a greater experience. And I welcome that. I asked them to do one thing, get their degree. And so I think each case is different, and the greatest gift you can give somebody is your time. And I felt like going in knowing that there would be a ton of people put their name in the transfer portal. I think we were over 2,500 for about 300 spots, that you are going to need to help young men. And that's part of our job as coaches, is to be able to guide and teach and help young people.
When people ask you, how's this year going to be different in terms of like a bullet point, this way, how's this year going to be different for you guys?
If I had to say the one word, Dan, I'd say accountability. Accountability to each other, accountability to our fundamentals, accountability to protecting the ball, taking the ball away, and the accountability of not having penalties. Those are the things that cost us games last year. So if there's one word, I would say accountability.
With the transfer portal, Velus and Matt Fink both came back. What's your policy on guys who enter and their ability to return?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said each case is different. And there's certain situations that when a player leaves, it might be best for him. And have that discussion with them that, hey, if we choose to go this, I'm going to help you in any way I can, help you find the right place. But it's your opportunity to have the chance to find the best place for you, and we'll find the next opportunity for somebody to fill that role. And then there's situations that I think kids need time. And there were some kids on the football team that needed time, and I wanted to make sure I granted that. So I didn't lay down a hard line rule of if you put your name in the portal, you're not a Trojan. Each case was different, and I wanted to help each kid.
You touched on Austin Jackson's timetable for return.
Yes.
Are there any other players that could possibly be wearing a yellow jersey starting fall camp?
Initially, I'll get the final injury report as of next week. We have a couple of kids that are coming off surgery that'll be really close by. Matt Fink is coming off a minor knee surgery that he should be ready by the time of camp. It'll be really close. And a couple of kids with a couple of calf bones and things. I'll have a better idea for you. We still got, basically another week worth of rehab, and a week's time, a lot of things can happen. So I don't want to give anything false.
What were the discussions with Daniel Monroe like?
Daniel is doing well. Daniel is this year going to focus on finalizing his master's degree as well as continuing to train. But he's doing well. He won't be with us this season, but is doing well.
Could he come back?
I look forward to watching him play in the 2020 season. I really do.
Somewhere.
Has the door completely closed on Achille Ross?
Right now, YK is in the transfer portal right now, and we'll see where that goes. YK is finding out what's the best situation for him, and we're doing the same.
Can you address the guys in the class who didn't make it? Jalen Watson, Talani Levi, and then Trey Davis now in the portal?
Say one more time.
Can you address the guys in the 19 class who didn't make it to campus and what happened with those situations?
You said some names. Can you go through?
Jalen Watson, Levi,
Yeah.
and Trey Davis is now in the portal.
Yeah, Trey has a family situation back at home that he put his name in the portal. That he may need to garner a better opportunity closer to home. And then Jalen fell just short of eligibility requirements for transfer regulations.
And Talani Levi?
Talini?
Yeah.
Talini fell just short of eligibility requirements also.
Clay, you had so much success your first 2 years, obviously, and last year was what it was. You personally, in going through last season and in the off season, what did you learn about yourself as a coach since you were here last year at this event?
Yeah, probably the most important thing as a leader is that when you have good seasons like a Rose Bowl year and a Pac-12 championship year, that you give the accolades to the people that are around you that got you there. And when you have a 5-7 season, that you own it, and you own it yourself as the leader. And you look at yourself truthfully of what you have to do to get better. You can either hide your head in the sand, or you can address the issues, have very brutally honest conversations with the men around you of how to get better, and institute that. And that was the biggest thing, to address issues, to make changes that needed to be changed, to put a point of emphasis on some things that I felt beat us last year, make those corrections, and now move on to the 2019 season.
You've talked a lot about being authentic to yourself, and you've said before your players know when you're not being authentic, and you kind of turned your, I guess, the intensity up a little bit more than people had seen before in the spring. What was that like doing that, and did it feel right to you?
Well, it was important for our football team to understand how we got beat, especially down the stretch in those last 4 games by 7 points or less in each one of those games. It was nothing that an opponent did. We beat ourselves. When you turn the ball over 2 times in the red zone at Cal and 2 times in the red zone at Notre Dame, you have critical penalties down the stretch. You don't acquire turnovers. We did some things with lack of fundamentals that make you just an average football team rather than what you can become. And for me, that's my job. And that's what I told myself going in, that I'm going to hire the best coordinators that fit what we want to do offensively, defensively, and special teams, and I'm going to focus on what wins football games. And I'm going to have a passion towards that. I'm going to make sure our players feel that. Because when they feel it, they know there's a sense of urgency and importance, and it's demanded of them. So yes, the heat got turned up a little bit in the spring, and I felt it was necessary. I thought our kids thrived off of it. I thought they enjoyed it. And at the end of the day, kids love to be coached, and they love to be coached hard.
Is there?
I know your dad's a big kind of voice for you in terms of bouncing ideas off of him. After you went through what you did last season, is there anybody else you talked to?
I talked to other coaches, especially going through the hiring process. And some of the best advice I got, the first hire, with Cliff was had to have a sense of urgency because of the early signing period. But the other thing that came about in hiring Graham was always at the top of my list. But to have the availability to not have to rush, because we had about 90% of our class signed, and really be able to talk to some other people, both college and pro, there was so much that I learned personally as a coach, and being able to acquire a tool or two from each and every guy that I talked to. And that was some of the best recommendation that I got, was take your time in the process. Don't worry about, everybody wants to know who it is right now. Learn from other people. Heck, you may be playing against them one day and be able to garner a tool or two. And that whole process, I got a lot out of. And some of the best advice I was given is don't worry about popular opinion. Do what you believe in, and then take the time to go through the process and get not only the right guy, but to learn a lot of valuable material along the way.
What did you learn from Grant? What has Graham taught you since he's been here?
How simple college football can be. And that it's that we all have grand ideas and grand schemes, but it's not what we know as coaches. It's what our players know. And to be able to see a Devin Williams, as everybody saw in spring, really come alive within the system, to be able to see kids like Amon-Ra and Michael Pittman bounce from outside receiver to inside receiver, to learn conceptually. It's more about the kids mastering their craft than you trying to outthink your opponent. It's about them having great fundamentals and technique. So I think the greatest thing that he's shown me is how simple the game can be for the student athlete, and focus on him getting better fundamentally and technique-wise rather than trying to out-trick somebody.
Along those lines, you obviously talked to him about his philosophy in the process, but going through the spring, seeing it, was there anything specific that surprised you or that really caught your eye that maybe you weren't expecting to the full extent?
Yeah, really two things. One, I was very appreciative in Graham, and it was one of the things that I saw. You could see it in the stat sheets. When you come out of North Texas, you see them rushing the ball 2,000 yards and then having a top 10 quarterback. When you watch the tape, Graham takes what the defense gives him. If you're going to line up and load the box, he's going to throw it 60 times. And if you end up dropping 8 and playing cover 2, he's not going to force the pass. He's going to run the ball and let a rusher get 200 yards in the game. You know, and to be able to see him not script, to just play call and train himself during the spring was a unique tool that I really enjoyed, and Clancy did it too, where we would just script the personnel groupings and let them call the plays based on the situation. Played a lot of situational football. Thought it got not only our players better, but it made both play callers better. So those are probably the two things that I saw coming out of spring that I enjoyed.
Is there a good anecdote or example that speaks to how that heightened accountability has been kind of bought into? And
yeah, I thought one of the most important hires any head coach can make is their strength and conditioning coach, and probably the most important hire, to be honest with you. We lost a good man, Ivan Lewis, going to the Seattle Seahawks, to garner Aaron Rasmus, who has run 2 SEC programs, has been at SC and run this program, and also the crew that he brought in. The assistant coaches that he brought in underneath him had led college programs, and to see that commitment to accountability in their group, it has been, there's nowhere to hide. You know, that every day, whether you're in the strength and conditioning, whether you're with our coaches, everybody's accountable. And it's been really neat to see Aaron and his group lead our program made through this point in time right now. It's been a really special time for us. It's been a great summer, and can't wait to see the dividends for this fall.
What was that